Hi, a movie I watched this week was Pixar's 2020 film Soul. It's directed by Pete Docter and stars the voices of Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, Graham Norton, and a range of others. And it's a rather strange and much more adult story than I was expecting from Pixar. Our main character is a jazz musician in present day New York. He, however, has been struggling in his career and is now stuck working as a music teacher in a high school. However, one night he manages to get his big break and is thrilled to finally get a spot in the band of one of his most admired musicians. However, on his way back, he falls down a manhole and dies. He wakes up on his way to the great beyond, effectively the afterlife, and rather shocked by the idea that his life has been snuffed out as it was only just starting, as he felt. He manages to escape and finds his way to the great before, a place where the souls of the unborn wait to be planted on Earth and begin their lives. He's partnered up with a young soul named 22 who refuses to complete the graduation to travel to the Earth, seeing it as stupid and pointless and boring. And together they concoct a scheme to get back to our main character's life. Except things go wrong, and 22 ends up in our main character's body, while he ends up in the body of the therapy cat that was on his hospital bed. So they have to work together in order for 22 to make it back to the great before and to avoid having to live on Earth at all, while our main character has to get back into his real body in time to complete the first show in his new job. It's, as you said, it's very complicated, and it deals with a lot of unusual subject matter, I think, for a children's film. There's a lot of issues of mortality and metaphysics and philosophy, and I can't imagine this being an easy watch for children. This is much more of an adult film. There are a lot of jokes. It's generally very light-hearted in the Pixar style. There's a buddy movie sensibility, the way that there always is in a Pixar film. But the material it's dealing with is so difficult and complex that it's strange to think that this is actually aimed at children. There is fantastic animation, as there usually is with a Pixar film. New York looks fantastic. It's slightly cartoony, but just the right amount. The guides in The Great Before are loosely modelled on an animated film called Linear, which had characters living on a single continuous line. So they have these strangely two-dimensional characters living in a three-dimensional environment. There's a beautiful score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Who would have thought that the guy behind Nine Inch Nails would win an Oscar for a Disney movie? The film has a mostly ambient electronic score mixed in with jazz, courtesy of John Baptiste. It's a very well-made film, and I was very impressed by it. It manages to use the Pixar model of these mismatched friends working together and becoming a partnership, and use it for much more complex philosophical material than you would usually see. But I think it was a huge mistake to try to market this as a family picture. It was released in late 2020. This was going to be Pixar's big holiday movie for 2020, but obviously that didn't happen. It was released instead straight on Disney Plus, and more recently had a theatrical release and completely bombed. Because why would you go and see this in the cinema when you can watch it at home on Disney Plus, which you've already paid for? It's the best Pixar film I've seen in quite some time, having skipped a few after being burned quite badly by Cars 2. But I would recommend this very highly, but not for your children. I would recommend watching this as an adult first before sharing it with the younger members of your family, because it's tough to deal with, I think, and may lead to some awkward questions despite being very good.